A very good morning. Euro USD has been pushing up higher as of this morning. Today is a massive day as we have US and China trade talks taking place in London, which will have a massive effect on the US dollar and on the major dollar pairs as well. Good morning, guys. My name is Fabio and welcome back to another daily market update. Now, as I mentioned today, the major news update is or at least what we're going to be waiting for, is any updates in relation to that trade deal between China and the United States. Any positive developments on that trade deal should push the euro against the dollar down lower. So looking and keeping my eyes open for that. At the moment, the 4-hour is fractal bearish, with this being the current fractal high, this being the current fractal low. We have currently retraced up higher in towards this 4-hour area of supply, and I'm now looking for an overall follow through in towards the downside. Looking at the daily time frame, we should keep in mind, however, that the daily is still fractal bullish. If we look here at the daily time frame, we can see that we made a retracement into this sell before the buy over here, and then this over here is now your new sell before the buy. However, you can see that we failed to close above that sell before the buy candle over here. We never saw a sell, or we never saw a candle close above that sell candle, indicating to me that the overall bullish pressure is pretty weak and that this is more a fake out on the overall range. Now, this becomes more clear on the 4-hour time frame, where I have highlighted the range overall as the green zone, and that these orange points are pretty much the fake outs overall that we have within the market. So after a fake out, you most often will see a reversal. So looking for that reversal to take place deeper in towards the downside, with the 4-hour fractal now being bearish as well. Now, looking at the 1-hour time frame, what I'm looking for there is pretty much something very simple. What we can see here is that we've now liquidated this high over here. Obviously, if you want any shorts to take place, you would need to see a 1-hour fractal structure shift here internally, because we can see push up, push down, push up, push down, push up, push down, push up, push down. Now, this could just lead to another push up. Obviously, you would need to see a push down. Now, this then becomes supply, and then you could look for a short position. Until then, just follow the overall order flow up higher, and no need to already be in those short positions. 50-minute time frame as well. Very clear supply or demand, here is in control for now, pushing the market up higher. So let's see if we can break the lows and what will happen here on euro dollar. But overall, interested in those short positions, but for now, definitely longs and buyers are still in control. So don't try and be an early seller. Definitely wait for bearish momentum to come in. If we do push up higher, just wait again for the market structure to shift in your favor and for a fresh area of supply to be created. Now, the reason that I'm looking for those dollar longs mainly comes from a weekly and from a monthly perspective. Here on the weekly time frame, what we've now seen is that the weekly time frame is still fractal bullish. What happened is that if we just quickly zoom out again and we highlight this overall box here as green, then it becomes very clear where we have a phase of accumulation, right? Then what happens is that when we fake out on the top of that accumulation, then we make the reversal down, and now we've faked out on the low of the accumulation, and now obviously we're looking for the reversal up. Now, how did we recognize that the market was ready to push down lower at the time? Well, there was a very clear weekly fractal structure shift, and if you zoom in, you can very clearly see here that we get a push up, push down, push up, push down, push up, boom, fractal break. We retrace pretty high all the way into this imbalance, pretty much, I think, nearly actually even take out this fractal high, and then we start selling off. Now, the same is happening here at the lows, where we also have a fractal structure shift with the push down, push up, push down, boom, push up, fractal low, fractal high, and again, this is then your area of demand, this sub for the buy. We can see that from a fib retracement perspective, we've retraced all the way in towards deep territory. We've even tapped to 0.88, and now I'm just simply looking for the dollar to start pushing up higher again. So let's see if that can happen this week. I'm going to be very curious to look and keep an eye on the lower time frame, mainly being the 4-hour. Here on the 4-hour time frame, we are squeezing, or have been squeezing, in towards the lows. We had this squeezing formation here, this descending wedge, which we've pretty much broken out of in towards the upside. Now, for now, the 4-hour demand is in control. Let me just delete the Fibonacci and these trend lines. You can very clearly see here that this is your sell before the buy over here. Beautiful liquidation wick in towards downside, which grabbed a lot of liquidity, V-shape reversal up, and now we've retraced back in towards where? In towards the 0.5 fib. So looking now to see if the dollar index can start pushing up higher again in towards this week. Beautiful weekly open, first some downside, creating a bottom wick, and then look for some further upside. That would be preferable. And then this overall kind of like trade idea, or this overall setup, whatever you want to call it, would be invalidated, obviously, if we start breaking below this low again, okay? But even if we break this current fractal low, that is not very preferable. Let's keep an eye on that. And then overall, my trade idea would be more confirmed once we break the current daily fractal high, which is, the current FH over here. This for me would be confirmation that we're now ready to push up higher, take out this high, and this high. So that's what I have for the dollar index. Going into AUDUSD, AU has been pushing up higher, pretty much again as expected. Still looking for the X to be taken out. Still overall bullish momentum here on this pair in towards the highs. We'll be keeping an eye on that. I do know that in China, deflation came out. So we had inflation numbers in China come out. So CPI year on year. And PPI year on year. So PPI year on year, which is the producer inflation, came in worse than expected at minus 3.3% when it was forecasted to be minus 3.1%. And the consumer inflation was better than expected, still negative, minus 0.1%, but still negative. So overall, this is not ultimately very positive. Chinese economy is very, very high correlation with the Australian economy. But let's see how that plays out throughout today, because AUDUSD is mainly dependent currently on what the dollar does. Obviously, dollar has been pushing down lower here on market open, pushing AUDUSD up higher. Preferably, I would look for shorts once the X gets taken out, as we have this beautiful ascending corrective price action. So let's wait for that, because before a real reversal on this thing happens, we need to take out some significant liquidity, which is this green box for me. That's why I'm really only waiting for shorts from there. Going into GBPUSD, I am looking for shorts on GU overall here on the 4-hour time frame. Some very nice fractal bearish price action. We've taken out this internal liquidity high, which I'll show you on the lower time frame, and we have retraced into where in towards the overall buy for the sell. Refine this, and you have these two imbalance candles now over here, which is a beautiful selling opportunity. So looking for further downside on GBPUSD throughout this week here from this level, with pretty much just my stops above the overall high. Nice liquidation of these equal highs here with this wick, and now just looking for further shorts to take out all of these ascending lows. So that's overall my buys for GBPUSD. If you want the higher probability setup, then obviously you can wait for the 1-hour fractal low to break, or even for a double fractal break, which would look something like this: retracement, and then you sell on that double fractal low break to take out all of these lows over here, and even these lows over here, in my personal opinion. So looking for the shorts on GBPUSD. Going into NZDUSD, very simple, more bullish on this, with the daily fractal still being bullish. I mean, the exact same analysis as last week played out, where we have this sub for the buy. However, again, we didn't really see a candle close above that sell candle, which is preferable to create like a strong area of demand. But you can see that the overall order flow is still holding, and every single time the sub for the buy, sub for the buy, sub for the buy, until now have been holding. NZDUSD is not bearish looking at all. It's extremely bullish. So only look for those further longs, in my opinion, for now, especially with the daily fractal structure being bullish. And then where you want to be targeting is obviously the X over here. So look for that further upside on NZDUSD, and also translate that into lower time frame setups. Going into the next three pairs, which are dollar Swiss, dollar yen, and gold. Dollar Swiss still looking for further upside. Just such a slow pair. Has been absolutely crazy, to be honest. Like, it's so slow, but still looking for further upside on dollar Swiss. Not really going to explain too much. I mean, there's not a lot to say on this, except for the fact that it's just consolidating mainly. But we do see kind of that the price action that we have has gotten a lot of ascending high or descending highs. And now we just need some momentum to come in, and that's when I'm really going to start scaling into positions, because for now we're kind of like the same as on EURUSD, stuck within this overall range price action that we have over here. So yeah, I mean, we are at the lower bound of the range. If you were to view this as a range and view this as a range, we're at the lower bound of the range, so it makes sense to look for longs. And then if we have obviously dollar yen, we can say the pretty much same nice retracement that it's making now. I'll be looking for some continuation trades. Last week I mentioned that this was kind of like this orange level was a key level of support and resistance, support, resistance. I'm now looking for this to form support. So what I'll be looking for is kind of like a accumulation phase here within the market. where we start accumulating and then start seeing some bullish order flow again on USDJPY. That's what I now need, so we'll be keeping my eyes open for that. Going into gold, last of all, gold makes sense still for longs. It retraced nice and deep, to be very honest. The only thing is obviously that the current daily fractal structure is now bearish. However, we did retrace nicely in towards this sell for the buy candle over here. Now, fractal structure obviously is important, but it's not everything, because you need to understand that we are overall bullish here, first of all, on gold, and that we retraced in towards the 618 and in towards this daily area of demand. So further upside still makes sense. Sometimes you're going to see these bearish fractal breaks, but it's more just a liquidity grab, and this could be the case here with the equal lows. Retracing in towards this daily demand zone. So I would be looking for some gold longs in towards this week. Do keep in mind that there is still potential for it to take out these equal ascending lows, but you could take an initial entry for sure from this area of demand, these ascending lows. Look at the lower time frame for potential entry. 1 hour time frame, what has it done? Taken out this liquidity low, retraced in towards this demand zone, given us what, a 1 hour change of character. So now you could look for a potential longing opportunity. Demand for now is in control, so I would be looking for some longs to take out these descending highs. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic trading day. Any questions, make sure to join Discord. We'll be active there, and a lot of good updates coming your way. This is going to be a massive week for the Trading Academy, so stay tuned. Thanks.